Your body does not disappear when you fall asleep. Your eyes close, your muscles release, your breath slows down. But consciousness does not rest. It does not collapse into emptiness. It does not vanish into silence. It steps into a dimension that the waking mind never fully understands. The truth that most people ignore is simple. You have two lives running at the same time. The physical life that you experience with the senses, and the life that unfolds when the body is no longer the center of your identity. One belongs to biology. The other belongs to the space behind thought, behind memory, behind the story of who you think you are. If you listen carefully to the moments before sleep, you will notice something strange. There is a shift, a soft pull, a feeling as if you are leaving the familiar world. You may not notice it because you have been trained to dismiss the invisible. You have been conditioned to believe that sleep is just rest, or a biological function, or a mechanical shutdown. But every ancient civilization knew something we forgot. Sleep is the opening of a gate. That gate is not metaphorical. It is real. It is the moment when the physical body becomes silent and consciousness detaches from the limitations of matter. This is why dreams feel like memories, why time bends, why you wake up with the impression that you visited another world. Because you did. Because every night you step into the realm that does not obey the rules of waking reality. Most people never question this. They wake up, they go through their day, they fall asleep again, and they call it routine. But the deeper truth is that your consciousness is traveling while your body rests. The journey continues, even if the logical mind tries to deny it. You have felt it since childhood. You have had dreams that feel more real than the day. You have woken up with messages you cannot explain. You have had nights where your mind remained awake while your body slept. That is not imagination. That is a reminder, a signal that you are not a static being trapped inside a single world. You are a traveler between dimensions. You are a visitor in your own sleep. Consciousness is not produced by the brain. The brain is a receiver, a translator, a bridge. Consciousness is not inside the skull. It is the field you are moving through. And when the body releases its grip, you return to that field again. The truth that no one ever told you is that you were never meant to stay only in physical reality. The waking world is just one layer. Sleep is where you shift into another layer. Your awareness becomes free from the limits of time, free from identity, free from logic. You become the observer, the witness, the soul beyond form. In sleep, your consciousness is not passive. It is not silent. It is more active than ever. Think about the dreams that leave a mark on you, the dreams that feel like messages, the dreams that warn you, the dreams that show you things before they happen. Those are not random signals from a tired brain. They are memories of where you went, what you saw, what you touched, and who you were when the physical world no longer defined you. Sleep is not unconsciousness. It is a return, a reunion between the soul and the dimension that does not need a body to exist. When you fall asleep, your body becomes still, but consciousness continues its movement. It travels through space that does not require distance, through language that is not spoken, through moments where time does not exist. This is why some dreams repeat. This is why some dreams pull you back. This is why you sometimes meet the same people, visit the same places, feel the same energy. These are not accidents. They are memories of your nightly journey. If you have ever woken up with a strange knowing you cannot explain, if you have ever sensed that a dream was more than imagination, if you have ever felt that your consciousness was watching from a different place while your body slept, then you already know the truth. A part of you has always known. A part of you has always remembered. The mind tries to erase it in the morning. The world tells you it was nothing, but your consciousness does not lie. Your sleep is a portal, a doorway, a shift into the side of reality that is always hidden during the day. That hidden world is not less real, it is more real, because when the body no longer distracts you, when the mind no longer interferes, you become the pure version of your being. You step into the realm where thoughts are not born from fear, where intuition becomes clear, where the soul recognizes itself. What you call rest is actually preparation. The field reorganizes energy. The subconscious rewires identity. The soul reconnects with a higher layer of reality, and you wake up changed, even if you do not understand how, even if you do not remember. The transformation happened. When someone asks where consciousness goes during sleep, the answer is not hidden. It goes where it has always belonged, beyond the physical, beyond the name you carry, beyond the stories you tell yourself when you are awake. It returns to the dimension of origin, the dimension you came from long before this life began. Your body may sleep, but consciousness never does. It opens, it expands, it travels, it remembers, and every night it invites you to follow. There is a moment in every night when the world, starts to dissolve. You lie in your bed, you close your eyes, and then something happens that no one teaches you to notice. Reality begins to rearrange itself. Your thoughts stop behaving like thoughts. Your memories stop behaving like memories. The boundaries of time start to soften, and what you feel in those first seconds is a signal that most people ignore. It feels like drifting, but it is not drifting. It feels like falling, but you are not falling. It feels like your body is still here and your awareness is already somewhere else. This is the threshold, the place where consciousness shifts away from the physical world. You have experienced it thousands of times. You just never learned to pay attention. Think about the dreams that stay with you for years, the ones that are not chaotic or random, the ones that feel like they were spoken directly to you. Maybe you were walking through a place you have never seen in waking life, but in the dream it felt like home. Maybe you met someone who is no longer alive, but the encounter felt more real than any memory. Maybe you faced a moment from the future, something you had no way of predicting, yet the dream showed it to you clearly. These experiences do not come from imagination. They come from the depth of consciousness that becomes free only when the body no longer controls your awareness. The physical world tells you what is possible. The dream world shows you what is true. You may not always remember the details, but you always remember the feeling, the intense clarity, the strange recognition, the sense of visiting something familiar and ancient. There are nights when you close your eyes and your mind refuses to rest. You are tired, but a deeper part of you is wide awake. Your thoughts move like water. Images appear from nowhere. Sounds come from a memory that is not yours. These are not random signals. They are the echoes of consciousness preparing to detach from the physical layer. Everyone has had moments in sleep when they became the observer. You were inside the dream, but you were also aware of watching it. You were both the character and the witness. You knew the dream was not just a story. It was a place, a world, a dimension that existed with or without your permission. You have had dreams where you spoke with complete clarity, where you made decisions, where you remembered things you never knew. The reason those moments feel different is because that is your pure state of awareness. It is what you are without the weight of the physical identity. It is what you are when the brain stops filtering reality. The soul does not sleep. The soul remembers. It remembers where it came from. It remembers the layers beneath the surface of ordinary life. Think of the nights when you woke up with a message, a warning, a revelation, a knowing that you could not explain. You did not read it in a book. You did not hear it from someone else. You received it in the dimension where the subconscious speaks in symbols and the field speaks in energy. That message was not a dream. It was communication. It was guidance. There are moments in sleep when you feel like you left your body. Your vision changes. Your sensation of space changes. You are no longer held by gravity. You float. You observe yourself. You move through walls. You see places you have never seen. These are the signs that consciousness has crossed into another dimension. You have experienced this at least once in your life. Most people have, and yet they tell themselves it was only imagination. The truth is that your mind is more active while you sleep than when you are awake. The body rests. The consciousness expands. It moves into a space that is not limited by the physical senses. You can see without eyes. You can listen without ears. You can travel without moving. The dream world is not a fantasy. It is the layer of reality where your true identity operates. Look at how your sleep changes when you are afraid. Your dreams become dense, heavy, confusing. You are trapped in loops. You are chased by shadows. You wake up with fear in your chest. That happens because your emotional state guides the dimension your consciousness enters. Fear takes you into lower layers of awareness, The body sleeps, but the soul is navigating energy and vibration. Look at how your sleep changes when you go to bed with clarity, when you set an intention, when you release the noise of the day. Suddenly your dreams become peaceful, guided, filled with meaning. You wake up with solutions to problems you could not solve. You wake up with ideas you did not have before. You wake up with a sense of direction. That is not coincidence. That is consciousness choosing a higher field. There are nights when you meet someone who has already passed away. You speak to them, you listen to them, you feel their presence, and you wake up knowing that the conversation was real. The dream is not the illusion. The illusion is thinking that waking life is the only reality. The boundaries between dimensions are thinner than you have ever been taught. You have also felt the nights when you were not alone in your dream, when you shared the dream with someone else, when two minds entered the same space, when the subconscious connected with another consciousness. People ignore these moments because they do not fit the rules of physical reality, but they are proof that consciousness does not exist inside the brain. It exists inside the field that connects every living being. Think of how many times you woke up and said that dream felt too real, too vivid, too intentional. Those dreams are not dreams. They are memories of where your consciousness traveled. They are reflections of the world beyond the physical senses. They are snapshots of your spiritual journey. Your dreams are shaped by more than the events of your day. They are shaped by memory from past experiences, by energy you cannot see, by timelines you have not yet reached, by layers of yourself that exist in silence during the day. Sleep is not the absence of reality, it is the doorway to a deeper version of it. Your consciousness has always known that sleep is more than rest, that dreams are more than imagination, that there is a hidden world unfolding every night. The body sleeps, but the truth does not. You are not just experiencing dreams, you are participating in another dimension of existence. You are remembering who you are outside the limits of the physical world. Every night you cross the threshold. Every night you return to the field. Every night your soul steps into the space where reality reveals its true nature. And whether you remember or not, your consciousness continues the journey. The experience is happening to you. The question is whether you are ready to see it. When the body enters sleep, it does not take your consciousness with it. The body follows rules. It runs cycles. It slows the pulse. It shifts brain waves. It rests. But consciousness does not obey the biology of rest. It follows an entirely different law. It begins to separate from the physical layer and enter the space where the limits of matter fall away. This separation is not something rare. It is not reserved for mystics or spiritual masters. It happens to every human every night. The difference is not in whether it happens. The difference is only in whether you ever learn to notice it. The moment your body falls into deep sleep, your awareness starts to release its attachment to form. The physical senses fade, but the inner senses become sharper, more alive, more sensitive. You have felt the exact moment when this shift begins. The body gets heavy, the world becomes distant, time loses its shape, and suddenly you are no longer inside the body in the way you were just seconds before. You become lighter, freer, as if something inside you is loosening the chains that tied you to the physical world. This is the moment your consciousness begins its journey out of the body. Look closely at the dreams that feel like travel, the ones where you move without moving, the ones where you see places you have never visited, yet feel completely familiar. That is not the brain creating illusion. That is consciousness returning to a state where distance and location do not matter. In this state, you are not contained by the body. The body becomes the anchor left behind while the awareness steps into the field that exists beyond time. Science calls this stage REM, but ancient traditions had another name for it, the astral gate, the place where consciousness partially detaches from the physical and enters the subtle dimension. The Egyptians believed that during sleep the soul left the body and walked among the realms of the gods. The mystics of India taught that the dream state is the doorway to higher planes. Even modern research has shown that the brainwaves during deep sleep resemble the patterns seen in meditation and near-death experiences. The body sleeps, but the mind does not. It does not retreat into darkness. It expands into the space beyond the physical world. During this separation, something extraordinary happens. You are no longer limited by the senses that define waking life. You can move through walls, you can see without eyes, you can hear without sound, you can travel without distance, you can exist in a place where identity is fluid and reality responds to intention. Many people have experienced this without understanding what it is. The moment when you feel yourself floating above your own body, the moment when you watch yourself sleep, the moment when you are fully aware that you are dreaming while the body remains still. These experiences are not accidents. They are proof that consciousness is not housed in the brain. The brain is only the receiver, the vessel, the interface. Consciousness is the presence that uses the brain but does not depend on it. When consciousness separates from the body, you are not entering imagination. You are entering the deeper layer of reality, the layer that connects all things, the layer that cannot be touched by physical hands but can be felt by the soul. In this dimension, the laws of the physical world fall away. Time does not flow in a straight line. Space does not separate one thing from another. You step into the field where everything is connected. The most powerful evidence of this separation is the experiences that happen when the body is asleep but awareness is fully active. Out-of-body experiences, lucid dreams, encounters with people who are no longer alive, visions that show the future, conversations that carry truth you could not have known, insights that change the direction of your life. These moments are not produced by the brain. They are moments where consciousness is operating outside the body. Think about what happens when you dream of a place you have never seen. You wake up and later find that place in real life. How could you access that memory if it did not already exist somewhere beyond the physical world? Think about the dreams that warn you of events before they happen. Think about the dreams where you meet someone and wake up with answers that solve a problem you could not solve while awake. The moment you step out of the body, you step into a dimension where the rules of time and space no longer apply. This separation is not a failure of the body. It is the design of the soul. The body sleeps because it needs rest. Consciousness leaves because it needs expansion. The soul cannot stay confined to the limits of the physical world for too long. It has to return to the dimension where it belongs, the dimension where it came from before birth, and the dimension it returns to after death. The physical world is only one layer. It is dense, slow, linear. But when the body sleeps, you return to the layer that is fluid and infinite, the layer where thought is movement, where emotion is location, where intention is direction. You become the true version of yourself. Not the version shaped by fear or memory, but the version that remembers its origin. It is not a coincidence that some of the most transformative ideas in history came from dreams. Nikola Tesla described visions that appeared in sleep. Thomas Edison used sleep to solve problems. Ancient shamans entered dream states to gain knowledge. They were not dreaming, they were retrieving information from a dimension where consciousness is not bound by the physical world. There are 3 layers of sleep. The body rests, the subconscious organizes memory, and consciousness travels. The physical layer is only the beginning. The deeper layer is where the soul remembers itself, where intuition becomes clear, where the field communicates in symbols and energy. When your consciousness leaves the body, you are not escaping reality. You are entering the deeper structure of reality. Most people never realize how much power is hidden in this separation. They fall asleep thinking the mind shuts down. But the mind does not shut down. It awakens. It expands. It steps into the place where the physical world cannot follow. The separation between body and consciousness is not a mystery. It is a function, a nightly return to the dimension that cannot be controlled by matter. When the body sleeps, you are not gone. You are not absent. You are more present than ever. Because in that state, you are not limited by the rules that control the waking world. You become the traveler, the observer, the soul that moves between dimensions. And every night the separation reminds you of a truth you already know. The physical world is not the whole story. It is only the beginning. There is a moment in the night when the body and the consciousness stop belonging to the same dimension. The body sinks into stillness, muscles relax, the heartbeat slows, the breath becomes steady and rhythmic. But something inside you is already moving in another direction. It is not falling asleep, it is rising, it is expanding, it is stepping away from the world that keeps you grounded during the day. This separation does not feel dramatic. It does not feel like an explosion. It feels like a gentle shift, almost invisible, a soft detachment. The physical body stays anchored in one plane and your inner awareness begins to climb to a higher one. You have felt this before. The moment when the noise of the day fades and a deeper signal starts to call you, the body becomes heavy, but consciousness becomes light. The body stops moving, but consciousness starts traveling. Some people describe it as floating above themselves. Others describe it as slipping into another space even though they have not moved an inch. Some call it a dream, some call it an astral shift, but the label does not matter. What matters is the separation that takes place every night, and whether you are aware of it or not, your consciousness is always the one initiating it. The physical body functions according to biology. It is governed by cycles and chemistry. It needs rest. It needs repair. It needs to shut down to recover from the weight of the waking world. But your consciousness is not limited by any of this. It does not need sleep. It does not need rest. It simply uses this moment as an opportunity to leave the constraints of matter. The moment the body falls into deep sleep, you begin to detach from the physical world and return to the dimension where you truly belong. In this separation, the first thing that disappears is the sense of linear time. During the day, time feels like a straight line. One moment leads to another. Cause leads to effect. Past leads into future. But when consciousness steps out of the physical, that line dissolves. Time becomes layered. Time becomes fluid. You can move forward and backward. You can see possibilities. You can revisit memories. You can touch moments that have not happened yet. The second thing that dissolves is the identity that you build in waking life. The name, the stories, the expectations, the fears, the past. These are the clothes of the physical world. They are not the truth of who you are. When consciousness separates from the body, these layers fall away. And what remains is the pure and unfiltered version of your being. The version that does not exist to please or perform. The version that remembers what the mind tries to forget. This is the stage where dreams stop being dreams. They become places. They become environments. They become mirrors that show you the deeper layers of the soul. You walk through cities of memory. You visit dimensions you have never known in waking life. You speak to people who are no longer in the physical world. You travel without distance. You observe without eyes. You listen without sound. This separation reveals a truth that is easy to overlook. The consciousness is not locked inside the brain. The brain is only a translator. It receives signals. It processes information, but it does not create consciousness. The separation proves that your awareness is not produced by the physical body. It is only expressed through it. The body is the instrument. The consciousness is the musician. This is why you can see things in dreams that you could not see while awake. This is why you can solve problems you could not solve during the day. This is why your intuition becomes sharpest when the body is asleep. When consciousness steps into the higher layer of reality, it has access to information that cannot be reached through logic. It sees beyond the boundaries of the physical world. Imagine this separation like two layers of existence. The body remains in the dense layer, the layer where matter is solid and time is slow. The consciousness moves into the subtle layer, the layer where everything responds to vibration and intention. The lower layer sleeps, the higher layer awakens. They are connected, but they are not the same. When the separation happens, consciousness becomes more than a passenger in the physical world. It becomes the navigator. Many people experience this separation without knowing what it is. The moment when you are half awake and half asleep. The moment when you cannot move your body but your awareness is fully active. The moment when you feel like you are observing your own sleep. The moment when you hear your name in a dream and wake up with your heart racing. These are not illusions. These are signals that your consciousness has crossed into another dimension while the body stayed behind. Some describe this separation as leaving the body. Others describe it as expanding beyond it. But what truly happens is a shift in the center of awareness. The body remains the container. The consciousness becomes the traveler. In this state, you are not bound by the limitations of the physical form. You can move in ways that are impossible in waking life. You can experience reality without being restricted by the senses. This separation also explains why certain dreams feel more real than anything you have experienced while awake. They are not dreams, they are visits, they are encounters, they are movements through the layers of the universe that are hidden during the day. The physical world is only one plane of existence. When the body sleeps, you access the other planes. You step into the deeper architecture of reality. The reason this separation feels familiar is because it is not new, it is ancient. It is a memory that your soul carries. Before you entered the physical world, you existed in these higher planes, and when the body sleeps, you return to them. The separation between body and consciousness is a return to origin. It is the moment when you remember what you truly are. Not a physical form, not a personality, but a presence moving through dimensions. There is a moment in every night when the body becomes silent and consciousness becomes free. This is not an accident. It is a design. The separation happens because you are not meant to stay trapped in one reality. You are meant to move between worlds, to see beyond the surface, to reconnect with the field that created you. The physical world is your temporary home. The higher planes are your true homeland. And when the separation happens, when the consciousness steps away from the body, you are no longer limited. You are no longer small. You are no longer confined. You become what you always were, the traveler between dimensions, the observer of realities, the soul that remembers the truth that the waking world tries to make you forget. Every night, the body falls asleep. Every night, consciousness rises. Every night, you step back into the field where reality begins. And this separation is not a mystery. It is the most natural movement of the soul. The only question that remains is how much of it you are willing to remember. There is a dimension that you enter when the body sleeps. It is not imagination. It is not a dream. It is the astral field, a space that does not depend on the physical senses and does not obey the laws of the waking world. You have been there more times than you realize. You have walked its landscapes. You have touched its energy. You have met its inhabitants. The only difference is that you were never taught to recognize it as real. The astral field is the layer of reality where consciousness is no longer tied to matter. It is the space between worlds, not above and not below, not in the sky and not in the mind. It surrounds the physical world the way light surrounds a flame. It appears when the body sleeps because the physical senses are no longer distracting you. The moment the body loses control, the soul regains its freedom. This field is made of energy, not solid matter. Shapes shift according to thought. Places change according to emotion. Time does not flow in one direction. It loops, it bends, it reflects. The astral field responds to vibration. If you enter it with fear, you find the places that match fear. If you enter it with clarity, you rise into its higher layers. This is why dreams are chaotic, when the mind is anxious and peaceful, when the soul is steady. In the astral field, you are not limited by the body. You do not walk as a physical being. You move as pure awareness. You pass through walls. You shift locations instantly. You visit places you have never been. Some of these places are personal. They are built from memory and subconscious symbols. Others are collective. They exist beyond your personal experience. They are shared by many souls who enter the astral field every night. You have experienced the astral field when you have had a dream so vivid that you could feel the temperature of the air or smell the earth beneath your feet. You have entered it when you have flown above your own body or watched yourself sleep. You have touched it when you have met someone who is no longer alive and felt the presence of their soul. These moments are not fragments of imagination. They are evidence that consciousness moves into the astral field when the physical world is left behind. The astral field has layers. Some are dense and heavy. Some are bright and light. Some are filled with symbols that speak to your subconscious. Some are spaces of pure clarity where the soul receives messages and guidance. Every layer is a reflection of vibration. You do not travel through the astral field by walking. You travel through it by changing your internal state. The lower layers of the astral field reflect fear and unresolved emotions. Nightmares are born here. They are not punishments. They are mirrors showing you the parts of yourself you have not yet healed. The middle layers are where ordinary dreams take place. They are the bridge between what you know and what you are becoming. The higher layers are where spiritual encounters happen, where you receive wisdom, where you visit realities that do not exist in physical form. Some people have called these places cities of light, others have called them temples. Some have described schools where the soul learns through symbols and vision. These experiences are not fiction. They appear across cultures and across history because the astral field is not individual. It is universal. It connects every consciousness because consciousness is not separate in its origin. When you are in the astral field, you can meet other travelers. You can meet souls who have passed on. You can meet people you have never met in waking life. You can meet versions of yourself from other stages of your journey. This is why some dreams feel like conversations. This is why some dreams feel like warnings. This is why some dreams feel like returning home. The astral field is also the place where information exists before it becomes physical. This is why precognitive dreams happen. This is why you sometimes know something before it happens. The future does not exist ahead of you like a road. It exists beside you like a parallel layer of the same reality. When consciousness enters the astral field, it sees the structure that the physical world has not yet built. It touches possibilities before they unfold. The astral field responds to intention. If you enter it with a question, you receive a message. If you enter it with fear, you encounter symbols of fear. If you enter it with clarity, you rise into higher frequencies. This is why the moments before sleep are sacred. They decide the layer of the astral field you access. The soul does not travel randomly. It travels according to the vibration you carry. There are parts of the astral field where time stands still. You can experience a lifetime in a moment. You can watch entire stories unfold and wake up knowing that only minutes passed. Time is not the law in the astral field. Consciousness is. Where thought goes, the world follows. Where emotion leads, the environment takes shape. Some traditions teach that when the body dies, consciousness returns to the astral field before moving into higher planes. In sleep, you are practicing the same journey. You leave the world of matter. You enter the world of energy. You step into the dimension where soul and field communicate without language. Sleep is not practice for death. It is practice for awakening. You are not a visitor in the astral field. You belong there. You came from there before entering the physical world. You return to it every night. And when you wake up, you bring fragments of it back with you. A dream that leaves a message, a symbol that repeats, a feeling that you cannot explain. These are reminders. They are pieces of the astral field that stay with you because they are meant to guide you. The astral field is where consciousness operates when the body rests. It is the true environment of the soul. The physical world is temporary. The astral field is eternal. It is the dimension where identity is stripped of limitations, where intuition becomes truth, where the soul recognizes itself without the interference of the physical senses. You do not need to believe in the astral field for it to exist. You enter it, whether you are aware of it or not. You cross its boundary every night. Awareness only changes the experience. It does not create it. When you understand the astral field, you understand that consciousness does not need a body to exist. It is not produced by the brain. It is not limited by the world you can touch. It is the presence that moves through dimensions. It is the traveler that continues even when the body sleeps. Every night when you close your eyes, the physical world fades and the astral field opens. It has always been the true landscape of your consciousness. And every dream, every message, every vision is a reminder of the place that you return to again and again. The astral field is not a myth. It is your second world. It is the space where consciousness is free. There is a gate you pass through every night. It is not made of stone or light. It does not open with a key. It responds to one thing only: intention. The moment your consciousness begins to detach from the physical layer, the gate appears. It is the threshold between the world where the body rules and the world where the soul takes control. Some people cross it without awareness. Some are pulled through it by fear or exhaustion. But those who understand the nature of the gate walk through with clarity and direction. The truth is simple. Consciousness is not carried by the body. It is guided by vibration, and vibration is shaped by intention. If you fall asleep with fear, you enter the lower layers of the astral. If you fall asleep with confusion, you enter the chaotic middle layers. If you fall asleep with clarity, you rise into the higher planes where guidance and revelation are waiting. The gate reflects you. It does not decide for you. The intention you hold before sleep does. Look at your own nights. There are evenings when you fall asleep thinking about a problem and you wake up with an answer that the waking mind could not find. That is intention shaping the journey. There are nights when you close your eyes with a heavy heart and you end up in nightmares that mirror your fear. That is intention calling you into the density of your own unresolved energy. And there are nights when you fall asleep with peace and you enter dreams that feel like sacred rooms. That is intention preparing the way for the soul to rise. The gate appears in the moment of transition. The breath deepens. The physical world fades. The inner world brightens. This is why spiritual traditions have always emphasized the moments before sleep. They knew that whatever the mind holds at the threshold becomes the signal that guides consciousness. You do not choose your dreams by accident. You choose them with the frequency you carry. The simplest intention can change an entire dream. The simplest thought can determine where your consciousness travels. Say to yourself, I want clarity, and you will enter the layer where clarity lives. Say, I want to understand this fear, and the astral field will reveal the symbolic face of that fear. Say, I want to remember, and memory will follow you into sleep. The gate does not need force, it needs direction. Intention is the language the astral field listens to. People think dreams are random because the physical mind does not see the architecture of intention. But the soul sees it. The soul moves with it. When you set an intention before sleep, you are aligning with a deeper law, the law that consciousness goes where it is called, the law that reality responds to the inner state, the law that energy follows focus. There is another truth hidden inside this gate. Intention is not only about desire, it is about readiness. The universe does not respond to want, it responds to alignment. When you say, show me the truth, you are telling the astral field that you are ready to see what the waking world hides. When you say, reveal what I need to know, you are giving consciousness permission to travel beyond the limits of logic. When you say, help me remember, you are telling the soul that you are prepared to receive what it already knows. The gate is not a place of control. It is a place of surrender. Not surrender as weakness, surrender as access. The physical mind releases its grip. The soul steps forward. And in that moment, consciousness becomes the navigator. The direction of every dream is chosen here. The experiences you have, the messages you receive, the people you meet, they are not accidents. They are the result of the intention that shaped your entrance into the gate. Think of the nights when you prayed for guidance or asked for a sign. Think of how dreams shifted in those times. Think of how you woke up feeling changed even if you could not explain why. That was intention opening the gate into a higher plane. That was the soul answering a call you made before sleep. The physical world may not acknowledge this power, but the astral field always does. There are many ancient practices built around this truth. Monks meditated before sleep. Shamans set intention for travel. Mystics asked for visions. They were not manipulating the dream. They were guiding the consciousness toward the part of the field that held what they were seeking. You do not need rituals or incantations. The most powerful intention is simple. The most powerful direction is clarity. Where the mind goes, the soul follows. The gate responds to your emotional state. It opens gently when you are calm. It opens sharply when you are afraid. It opens clearly when you are conscious. This is why the moments before sleep matter more than anything that happens during the night. You are creating the vibration that shapes the journey. You are choosing the path without even knowing it. There is one more secret about the gate. It reveals who you are in that moment. Not the version you show the world, not the version shaped by expectation, the version defined by your vibration, the version that the universe responds to. Intention is not a request, it is a declaration. It says, this is where I am ready to go, this is what I am ready to see, this is the state I choose to carry into the next dimension. When you understand this, you stop being a passenger in your own dreams. You become the traveler. You become the one who directs the journey. The body sleeps, but consciousness enters the astral field with purpose. The gate is always open to you. It always responds to you. It has never asked you for permission. It has only asked you for clarity. The intention you carry before sleep is the compass that guides you. The gate does not decide where you go, you do. And when you walk through that gate with awareness, you do not just experience dreams. You explore the architecture of reality itself. You step into the dimension where thought becomes movement and consciousness becomes the navigator of worlds. The gate is waiting for you every night. You cross it, whether you know it or not. The question is not whether the gate opens. The question is whether you choose the direction. There are moments in sleep that do not belong only to you. Moments when consciousness expands beyond the borders of your individual identity and you are no longer a single observer moving alone. You are touching a shared field. A space where minds meet without speaking, where information travels without sound, where the soul communicates without language. You have felt this before. A dream where someone else was there and the presence was unmistakably real. A moment where you spoke to a person you love or someone you have not seen in years. A dream where you felt as if the conversation continued from a story that already existed. These experiences are not accidents. They are not random signals from the brain. They are evidence that consciousness is not an isolated experience. It is a connection. When the physical body sleeps, the walls between minds become thin. The memories of separation fade. The boundaries of individuality soften. And consciousness begins to recognize the truth it forgets during the day. We are not separate beings walking alone through existence. We are points of awareness within the same field, connected, intertwined, sharing the same invisible space. The shared field is not limited by distance. Two people sleeping on different sides of the world can enter the same dream. A mother can feel her child, even when they are far away. Lovers can meet in the astral without ever speaking. Friends can share a message or a symbol. This happens because consciousness is not restricted by physical separation. It is linked by energy. Think of the dream where you spoke to someone who has passed on. Their voice was clear. Their presence was solid. You woke up knowing the conversation was real. That is the shared field, the space where consciousness and memory continue after the body is gone. The world teaches you that death is the end, but the soul knows otherwise. The shared field proves it. It shows you that connection does not vanish with the physical world. It becomes stronger. There are dreams where two people share the same symbols, the same locations, the same moments. They wake up and realize they experienced something identical. This is not coincidence. It is resonance. Two minds tuning into the same frequency. You have seen this in your own life. You think of someone and they appear. You dream of someone the same night they dreamed of you. The shared field is always active. Sleep simply removes the noise that hides it. Some ancient traditions believe that all human minds are connected by a single layer of consciousness. Modern researchers have spoken about collective memory and collective intelligence. Mystics called it the astral network. Others called it the world of spirits. But no matter what name it carries, it points to the same truth. Consciousness is not a private universe. It is part of a collective structure. In the shared field, thoughts are not silent. Emotions are not invisible. Intention is not contained. When you think of someone with intensity, your consciousness reaches theirs. When you pray for someone, your energy touches them. When you forgive someone, you release a bond in the field. These connections are not only emotional, they are energetic. They shape the way dreams unfold. There are moments when you dream of someone who needs you, and the next day they call. There are moments when someone appears in your dream with a message, and that message solves something in waking life. These are not coincidences. These are transmissions through the shared field. The soul does not need distance to communicate. It only needs silence. In this shared space, you can meet people who are alive. You can meet people who are no longer in the physical world. You can meet guides. You can meet versions of yourself from different paths of time. The shared field holds all of these possibilities because it is not bound by the rules of the body. It is bound by vibration and intention. Some dreams feel like a reunion. Others feel like a lesson. Others feel like a warning. When consciousness connects with another soul, there is purpose. You are exchanging information. You are healing something. You are continuing stories that began long before this lifetime. Sometimes the dream is a continuation of an unfinished moment. Sometimes it is a message from a higher part of your own consciousness. Sometimes it is a gift. Think about how many times you have dreamed of someone you have not spoken to in years and then met them shortly after. Think about how you have dreamed of a stranger and later they became part of your life. The shared field does not wait for physical reality to catch up. It connects before the mind understands the meaning. It prepares you for what is coming. There are times when two people wake up having had the same dream. They describe the same place, the same conversation, the same symbols. These shared dreams reveal something that the physical world hides. Consciousness is not singular. It is intertwined. It is woven into a network that you touch every time you sleep. The shared field is not only a place of memories, it is a place of creation. It is where ideas are born. It is where inspiration arrives. It is where the future begins. Many of the greatest discoveries in history came from dreams. Visionaries saw the answer before they had the question. They were not dreaming, they were receiving. They were connected to the shared field where information already exists. When you enter the shared field, intention matters. If you carry fear, you attract others who hold fear. If you carry clarity, you meet clarity. If you carry love, you meet love. Consciousness is drawn to what it reflects. The dreams you have with others are shaped by the vibration you bring. This is why the moments before sleep matter. They decide the version of the shared field you enter. There is one more truth the shared field reveals. You are never really alone, even in silence, even in darkness, even in the moments when life feels heavy. There is always someone reaching for you, someone dreaming of you, someone connected to you through the invisible current of consciousness. The shared field is the space where souls remember each other, where they recognize their connection beyond the physical world. When the body sleeps, you return to this connection. You move through a world where minds are not separate islands. You enter the network of awareness that binds every soul on earth. And whether you remember it or not, a part of you knows this is real. The shared field is not a metaphor. It is the true architecture of consciousness. A place where everything you love, everything you have lost, and everything you are destined to meet already exists. Every night your consciousness reaches out beyond the limits of the individual. Every night it touches the field where souls meet. Every night it remembers the truth of who you are. And when you wake up, you carry pieces of that truth with you. Because connection is not something you create. It is something you return to. It is the original language of the soul. Dreams are not illusions. They are the doorway to the deepest architecture of reality. While the waking mind tries to limit what is possible, your dreams reveal what is true beneath the surface. Every time you enter sleep, you enter a portal. A transition from the world of form into the world of pure consciousness. The dream is not a story created by the brain. It is a map, a signal, a memory from the dimensions your awareness travels through. You have felt this many times. The dream that seems to know you better than you know yourself. The dream that shows you a future moment before it happens. The dream that answers a question you never asked aloud. These are not hallucinations. They are messages from a field beyond the physical mind. When your body sleeps, your consciousness is no longer confined by logic. It moves into the dimension where the truth reveals itself without filters. The dream is a portal because it bypasses the limits of the waking world. In waking life, you see only the surface. You navigate through identity and expectation. You think you are the name you carry and the story you tell. But in dreams, the mask falls away. You become the part of yourself that exists beyond personality. The part that remembers who you are without the weight of the physical world. This is why dreams speak in symbols. The subconscious does not use language. It uses imagery. It uses emotion. It uses archetypes. A house is not a house. It is your inner world. A stranger is not a stranger. It is your hidden potential or your buried fear. Water is not water. It is memory and emotion. Fire is transformation. Doors are choices. Falling is surrender. Flight is freedom. Every symbol is a message from the deeper layers of your consciousness. There are dreams that feel like returning home. Dreams where the world is brighter than waking life. Dreams where you feel a sense of recognition. Those are not fantasies. They are reminders. They are glimpses of other timelines and other layers of reality. The waking world conditions you to think that your physical life is the only real one, but the dream world shows you that reality is much larger. It is not limited to one story or one identity. Some dreams do not feel symbolic at all. You walk through a city that you have never seen. You meet people you have never met. You experience moments that feel like memories. Then one day, you find those places in real life. You meet those people. You recognize those moments. This is because the dream world does not follow the same rules of time. It does not wait for the physical world. It shows you what already exists in the field. It shows you the reality your soul is moving toward. The dream world also reveals the parts of yourself that the waking world hides. It shows you your strength. It shows you your fear. It shows you your unresolved pain. Not to punish you, to free you. Nightmares are not the enemy. They are the message saying there is something you are ready to face. The portal does not close because you are afraid. It opens wider because the soul knows you are ready for the next layer of truth. There are dreams where you experience death, where you fall, where everything ends, but you always return. These dreams teach you the greatest truth. Consciousness does not die. It transforms. It releases one form and enters another. The dream world gives you a rehearsal for this transformation. It prepares you to let go. It prepares you to rise. There are dreams where you meet loved ones who have passed on. Their voice is real. Their presence is undeniable. You wake up with peace in your heart. That is not the imagination comforting you. It is the soul reminding you that connection does not end in the physical world. The dream world is where spirits meet without the limits of matter. It is the place where separation dissolves. In the dream world, you also step into parallel timelines, versions of yourself living different lives, different choices, different outcomes. The dream is a portal into those possibilities. You are not seeing what could happen. You are seeing what already exists in another layer of reality. The universe is not a straight line. It is a field of endless paths. And dreams are the windows into that field. When you cross into the dream world, you are not unconscious. You are more awake than the waking mind allows. You are moving through a dimension where your true nature is revealed. You are not limited by time. You are not limited by identity. You are not limited by the body. You are pure awareness, pure presence, pure soul. The portal of dreams opens for everyone, but only the conscious traveler remembers where they have been. The more attention you give your dreams, the more they reveal. The more you pay attention to the symbols, the clearer the messages become. The more you accept that the dream is not random, the more guidance you receive. Look at the dreams that changed your life. The dreams that warned you. The dreams that showed you love. The dreams that saved you. They were not coincidences. They were communication. They were the universe speaking in the language of the soul. The dream world does not exist to entertain you. It exists to guide you. This is why some dreams return again and again. They are pulling you toward the truth. They are asking you to listen. They are opening the portal again and again until you are ready to walk through it with awareness. Sleep is not the absence of consciousness. It is the doorway to the part of consciousness that remembers. Every night you cross the threshold. Every night you visit the world behind this world. Every night you step into the dimension where your soul has always belonged. And every time you wake up, you carry pieces of that truth back with you. The dream is not an illusion. It is a portal. And the moment you begin to treat it as real, your life begins to change. There is a side of the dream world that most people fear. The side that appears when consciousness travels into the lower layers of the astral field. The place where nightmares are born. The place where paralysis happens. The place where shadows and entities take form. This side of sleep is not a punishment or a threat. It is the reflection of the emotions and energies that the waking mind tries to ignore. Nightmares are not random. They are messages. They are warnings. They are mirrors. Nightmares happen when the frequency of your energy pulls you into the dense layers of the astral. These layers are shaped by fear, guilt, trauma, grief, and unresolved stories. They are the places where the subconscious sends the truth that you do not want to face. In waking life, you can distract yourself. You can avoid your emotions. You can numb your intuition. But when the body sleeps, the subconscious is no longer silent. It speaks directly to your consciousness. And the astral responds. Think of the dream where you are being chased, where you are falling, where you are trapped, where you are surrounded by darkness. Those dreams are not trying to hurt you. They are showing you the fear that already lives in you, the fear that has been waiting to be seen. Nightmares are the subconscious revealing what the conscious mind has been suppressing. You are not the victim inside the nightmare. You are the witness. The soul is showing you the part of yourself that needs healing. There is another experience that terrifies many people: sleep paralysis. The moment when the body cannot move but the mind is awake. The moment when you feel a presence in the room. The moment when something sits on your chest or whispers in your ear. Science says this happens when the brain wakes before the body. Spiritual traditions say something else. They say paralysis is the moment when consciousness returns too quickly from the astral. The body is still in sleep mode, but the mind is already in the physical world. In this state, the boundary between dimensions is thin. You are half in the body and half in the astral. You see things that the waking world hides. You feel presences that you do not feel during the day. Sleep paralysis is not an attack. It is a moment of transition. A moment when your awareness is wide open. Fear turns it into a trap. Calm turns it into a doorway. Many mystics use paralysis as the gateway to an out-of-body experience. With conscious breathing, you can move from paralysis into the astral field fully awake. There are also dreams where you encounter entities, figures that seem intelligent, beings that stand at the edge of your awareness. Some appear threatening, some appear neutral, some appear as guides. Entities are not hallucinations. They are manifestations of energy in the astral. They are shaped by vibration and intention. Some entities are reflections of your own shadow. Some are fragments of other souls. Some are beings that exist in the astral field regardless of your presence. The important truth is that they cannot control you. They can only interact with your fear. The lower layers of the astral are dense because they contain the unresolved weight of human emotion. Most people enter this level without awareness. They enter with stress, anger, fear, or anxiety. And the astral responds. It shows them symbols of that fear. It shows them the shadows they carry. But even in the darkest dreams, you are not powerless. The moment you realize that the nightmare is a mirror, you change the vibration of the dream. You stop running. You stop hiding. You face the shadow, and it loses its power. Nightmares are not meant to break you. They are meant to wake you. They push you to confront what you refuse to face. They force you to see the truth beneath your fear. The moment you look directly at the monster in a dream, it changes. It dissolves. It reveals the emotion or memory it represents. Because the true enemy is never the entity. It is the part of yourself you have abandoned. There are cultures that teach children how to use nightmares as a training ground. Shamans believe that nightmares are journeys into the shadow world, a place where the soul learns how to navigate fear. Monks use dreams to confront demons of the mind. They enter nightmares consciously and move through them as if they are walking through a symbolic landscape, because they know the truth. The dream world is the classroom of the soul. When you understand this, you stop fearing the dark side of sleep. You begin to see its purpose. The nightmare is not a punishment, it is a message. The paralysis is not a prison, it is a doorway. The entity is not the enemy, it is a symbol. The dream does not attack you, it invites you to grow. There is a simple rule in the astral field. Fear attracts density. Awareness transforms it. When you enter sleep with fear, you enter the lower layers. When you enter sleep with clarity, you rise. The dark side of the dream world is not a mistake. It exists because consciousness needs polarity. Without darkness, there is no transformation. Without shadow, there is no truth. Think of the nightmares that changed you. Think of the dreams that forced you to wake up different. Some dreams leave you shaken because they are trying to show you something. They are trying to release the weight you carry. They are trying to reveal the wound that needs healing. The dark side of the dream world is not against you. It is working for you. It reveals the parts of your soul that the waking world keeps hidden. There is another reason why fear becomes strong in dreams. In the astral field, emotion is amplified, thought becomes shape, vibration becomes form. If you enter the dream carrying fear, the astral creates a world that reflects that fear. This is not cruelty. It is clarity. It is the mirror of the subconscious. The dream world is not judging you. It is showing you who you are beneath the surface. Even the frightening entities serve a purpose. They are not random. They are teachers. They appear to push you into awareness. They appear to remind you that you are not only a body, you are not only a waking mind, you are consciousness, and consciousness cannot be harmed by shadows. The nightmare exists because the soul is ready to confront itself. And when you wake up from a dark dream, you know it changed you. Something was released, something was seen, something was acknowledged. The dark side of sleep is not a place to avoid. It is a place to understand. It is the place where unresolved energy rises to the surface. And when you face it, when you stand inside the nightmare without running, you become more than a dreamer. You become the observer. You become the one who sees through the illusion. The dark side of the dream world is the first step into transformation. It is where fear shows its true face. It is where you learn that the thing you are afraid of cannot control you. The thing that chases you cannot hurt you. The shadow that appears is not your enemy. It is your teacher. And the moment you stop running, the nightmare stops being a nightmare. It becomes a message. It becomes a lesson. It becomes the beginning of awakening. The destination of the journey is not in the dream. It is not in the astral. It is not in the symbols or the visions. The destination has always been one thing: remembering who you are when the physical world falls away, when the mind becomes still, when the body sleeps and the soul steps forward. You are not a visitor in the dream world. You are not a guest in the astral. You are not a stranger to the field. You came from that dimension long before you opened your eyes in this lifetime. Every night you return to the origin that your waking mind has forgotten. That is the real destination. The return to the truth that consciousness is not trapped inside the body. It uses the body. It expresses through the body, but it is never defined by it. When you close your eyes and the physical senses fade, there is no separation between you and the universe. No identity, no story, no limitation. There is only presence. There is only awareness. There is only the soul moving through layers of reality. The destination of sleep is not rest. It is remembrance. It is the moment when you reconnect with the dimension where your true nature lives. Every dream, every nightmare, every out-of-body moment, every shared dream, every encounter has been leading you to the same realization. The physical world is not the whole story. It is only the surface. It is the temporary layer you walk through during the day. The deeper layers of reality appear when the body sleeps. The soul does not wait for daylight to awaken. It awakens in the silence. It awakens when the mind finally lets go. The question of where consciousness goes during sleep was never about distance or location. It was always about identity. The destination is not a place, it is a state. A state where the soul is free from the limitations of time. A state where you can see the truth without distortion. A state where the field speaks without needing words. Sleep does not take you away from reality. It takes you deeper into it. You have already experienced this many times. Nights where you woke up knowing something changed inside you. Nights where you saw something that shifted the direction of your life. Nights where a dream was more real than any memory. Those were not dreams. They were reminders. Glimpses of your true nature. The destination has been calling you since the beginning. The waking world teaches you to forget. The dream world teaches you to remember. The physical world teaches you to doubt. The astral world teaches you to trust. The daytime teaches you how to survive. The nighttime teaches you why you are here. When the body sleeps, the soul returns to the field that shaped it. The destination is always the same. The return to the origin. The return to the truth behind all illusions. There is a moment in every night when the journey ends, not because you stop traveling, but because you arrive at the center of your own consciousness. The place where you are not a name or a story or a body. The place where you are only awareness, only being, only the presence observing itself. That is the destination, the point where the soul remembers that it has always been awake. The physical world will never give you the full truth. It is too small, it is too dense, it is too temporary. But the dream world gives you fragments of that truth. The astral gives you memories of that truth. The shared field gives you proof of that truth. And when you reach the deeper layers of the journey, you see that the truth was never hidden. It was only waiting for you to look. You are not returning to a place. You are returning to yourself, the part of you that cannot die, the part of you that cannot be destroyed, the part that exists before birth and after death, the part that travels through dimensions when the body rests. The destination is the remembrance of your original identity, consciousness without limitation. Every night you move through the gates of sleep. Every night you travel into the field. Every night you reunite with a dimension that holds the blueprint of your soul. And whether you remember or not, the destination never changes. It is always the return to the truth. The truth that you are more than this world, more than your mind, more than your body. You are consciousness. You are the traveler. You are the dreamer and the dream. You are the presence that moves through worlds. And the destination is not far away. It has always been inside you. The only journey is the journey back to that realization. The body sleeps. The mind rests. But consciousness continues. It expands. It remembers. It awakens. And in that awakening, the destination is reached. Not by traveling, not by searching, but by remembering. The truth is simple. You were never just sleeping. You were returning home.